Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a well actually 2v2, my bad. 2v2 for you all here on Start Shoot on the Western Front. Let's go through the players. Representing the United States, we have Eugen, not a commander choice yet. And also for the United States, Professor. Also not a commander. Oh wait, they just went for US Armor actually, never mind.
Ready for action.
Representing the Axis, we have Double Waffen SS. We have Captain Airstrike without a commander. And Roberto straight out the gate with Storm Tactics. The first name to see, looks like they're starting with double Storm Pioneer. Looks like something I've seen Roberto do before, actually. Looks like they just like the Storm Pioneers early. Not a bad thing, but the Storm Pioneers do suffer in some upgrade departments, however, as Storm, you can give them Storm Gewehr, so I suppose that's that. Normal Storm Grenadier opening here. Oh, we also have a commander chest for Eugen. Looks like it's going to be Ranger. Ranger and Armor. That's a pretty strong combination for late game, I think. The Waffen SS storming down here for the points. Taking all the around they can get. We also have a cool Waffen in MT-34 coming out here for the Storm Tactics. Heading towards the northern flank. Trying to aim to intercept some of the Americans still arriving on the battlefield. Greshams get some shot out with their carbines, but that's not going to do much at long range. They've already been suppressed. Gresham actually intended to be frontline combat personnel after all. Most of the Waffen SS have already set up defenses here. Will it be enough to keep the Americans off?
Waiting for orders.
Storm Grenadier is also getting up positions here behind the broken buildings. Don't have a lot of angles to shoot at though. Maybe we'll have a Jeep moving up here. Fighting against MT-34, but MT-34 wins the engagement so far. More Storm Pioneers arriving. We have Valonians coming out of the field as well. A cheaper infantry choice available to you if you're playing a Storm Tactics for the Waffen SS. They're about the same cost as Riflemen, so they're like basic infantry. Like 60 manpower cheaper than the Storm Grenadier. Keeper again gets shot up. Very good play here from the Germans so far, just very lucky with the machine gun. Or the Storm Pioneers being very lucky with their rifles. Well, the Americans are fighting. Oh, we have a command chest from Airstrike. Looks like it's gonna be Propaganda. Oh, this is very intriguing. Okay. Storm and Propaganda versus Ranger and Armor. This could end up being a fascinating fight, depending on how things go. These riflemen are getting a lot of shots though, coming from the Storm Grenadier.
Heavy machine gun group ready for action.
Lots of shots coming their way. But I think they will still win an engagement. No, the Americans are gonna lose the engagement, obviously. The ERs are quickly being handed out to the Americans though. But they might be going for a lot of automatic firepower early, but that's definitely a dead rifleman. On northern flank, we have the Americans still trying to keep the Germans off the northern fuel, but they haven't been able to take themselves. Never a good sign. That Kugelwagen is getting a lot of work done. Looks the Americans are finally going for the fuel point. Look at 30 caliber arriving here for the United States, setting up behind the broken down wreckage here. They'll have to keep the Germans off for a while. We also have 30 cal around. No, that's not a 30 cal, that's just a munitions point on the minimap. My bad. But we do have MG08s arriving here for the Germans. Couple MG08 and unit of Volkssturm. Getting a lot of cheap militia weaponry here just to hold the southern flank, so I guess we're fighting in the middle of a German city. I guess would fit with the name Stadtschut, in all honesty. But Germans are trying to do their best on the northern flank here. Waffen SS is doing all they can to keep the Americans at bay. Storm Gewehrs are handed out to the Valonians. Another upgrade they can get. Honestly, Storm can get a lot of Storm weapons, as you would expect, and we also see him cutting up the barbed wire here. Very smart, so they open another path they can get through for a flank. So far, looks like the sides have kind of consolidated most of the battlefields. The Americans have one more point than the Germans at the moment, so they are getting a little bit more resources, but that's a negligible amount. Negligible. Yeah. I can never say that word. Looks like a Jeep went down on this flank, thanks to an MG08. We have an Aufklar coming up for the Waffen SS. Americans are just digging in and waiting. We have a fight going on the northern flank here. We have the vertical moving up. That's the shots at an MG34. And then the vertical boss, which is targets. Oh, Balloon's getting mowed down in seconds. Oh, That's a potent bit of shooting there from the 30 caliber. They're having suppressed now though, so I think the MT-34 is going to win an engagement. Ooh, and not looking good here. Storm Pioneers pushed up and flanked the Jeep. But we do have some American riflemen nearby with that BAR ready. Can cause a lot of damage when the Germans walk into it. Because of another 30 cal arriving. Well, looks like the 30 cal might actually win. And we have several MG08s setting up here for the Volkssturm. Yes, this is trying to hold down the center here. MG08 is doing a pretty decent job. It is a machine gun after all. Double 30 caliber now present here for the United States. MG34 is actually losing the fight to the 30 caliber. And it actually gets mowed down entirely. That's a very good 30 caliber team. MG42 here armed on the Sturm Grenadier. And the Alpha class secured this point, so the Germans and the Americans have the similar amount of points now, I think. At least just looking at the map. No, this point hasn't been taken, but the Americans are trying to take it. Oh, just relocating with a smoke grenade. Just trying something there. Oh, and we have an early lieutenant arriving here for the United States. Followed by another 30 caliber. Getting a fair few 30 caliber machine guns coming out here. And German Silver Forward HQ as well. We got a Ballonian battle group called in, arriving with MP-34s. Americans are trying to take the point here. But the Kugelwagen is trying to prevent it. Realism moving up to try and be a distraction. But point is now in American hands. Artillery landing on the southern flank here from the lieutenant. Looks like it might just be normal artillery. It is forced the Germans to relocate though. It may allow the Americans to push up somewhat. Using all the cover available to them. And so now we have Americans on this side of the flank. Let's get into a potential ambush position for the future. Realism put no, that's actually a rifleman. They just merged with some Echelon, which is why you see some units with the great coat. Great assault from the Storm Pioneers. Force the Americans to back off. But 30 caliber is already ready to stop them. Oh, we also have a 30 caliber on the flank here to ensure that the Germans don't flank. He needs to open fire though. There we go. So now that's a killing field. You don't want to walk into that. That's just such a narrow little area. Good play there for the Americans so far, but we do have a Doom Grenadier. Birds in with some Folks Grenadiers. Okay. There could be on a flanking move there. We also have some of the 3rd infantry arriving. Unique riflemen available to US armor. You know, really a very good rifleman unit in my opinion. Probably one of the better ones. Americans will certainly take a few more points here for themselves. Early 80 guns also arriving, so the Americans are geared up. Ranger Recon team arriving here for the United States Ranger Company. A really good long-range recon squad. What happened to the American riflemen down here? Did they get singled out? But they did. Something I missed. Alpha class in the center. And an Alpha class up here as well. Lots of Alpha class arriving for the Germans. We also have a tech up now for light vehicles. The Fahrzeugkaufquartier. Long-range firefights going on here. But I think neither side is going to get many kills over a long amount of time. Unless the Americans start moving out of their cover for some reason. So they're all just falling back behind the sandbag. Bring the recon on this flank. Ooh, if they get close, they should be able to spot those Alpha class. 30 caliber being handed out to the recon infantry. Recon infantry uses Springfields, by the way, not M1 Garands. But now these Valonians got some good shots with their MP-34s. I personally think the normal Ranger Assault team is underutilized compared to the Recon team. That's just my opinion. Lots of machine gun fire coming this way now. Ooh, Valonians rode down on the open road there. We also have a Hausturmführer arriving for the Sturm Tactics. Using the Sturmpistole, a small grenade launcher in the form of a pistol, available to Sturm only. Still being called by the lieutenant. Probably has to pull back. Ooh, white phosphorus being utilized. Which is what the Americans use to the smoke barrages, by the way. We also have a Ranger assault team coming onto the field. Triple machine gun for Professor. That's a lot of machine guns to hold the front line, but that will stifle any attempt by the Sturm tactics to do infantry pushes. At least for a while. 30 caliber doing a good job in the center here. They spotted out the ARF class. MG8 has also is pulling back evidently.
Unit ready and on the field.
We have the first unit of Ranger assault teams on the field. A really good squad, probably one of the best the Americans can get. Ooh, we do have some breakthrough going on here with the Sturm Pioneers, and they are breaking through the machine guns. Using their Sturm Gewehr to the advantage. Beating out that machine gun team because it was out in the open with no cover. And now the Germans have an opening where they can utilize the Sturm Pioneers. Ooh, and now they can push the other one up because the other one is distracted. Machine gun is distracted with this one. Sturm Pioneers, the other one is going to move into range to throw a raid assault, I think. Or just get close enough. And yeah, that machine gun team has to fall back. But the Sturm Gewehr is just allowed to mow them down anyway. Good assault there from Robertus. Utilizing what Sturm is meant to be all about. Assaulting. We also have a half-track arriving here, so they're ready to make a mechanized push too. But these Sturm Pioneers with the MP44 is definitely doing a lot of work. I wonder if we'll see any Panzer Grenadiers, but because I rarely see the 2nd SS Panzer Grenadiers. Actually really good. Ooh, and we have the half-track trying to push. There's no 80 gun man, so it's actually a good idea. Problem is there's no one inside it. So it's just being suppressed at the moment. But infantry is pushing back the Sturm Pioneers for now. Where's the half-track? I don't know why it's pulled back there, especially when it's under fire by armor-piercing bullets. You'll probably just keep backing off.
The troops await your command. Command level capabilities ready for deployment.
Meanwhile, let's see, the propaganda tactics are also getting a lot of units. They're still ducking and holding their fuel. Rangers are trying to push up with double BAR. Which is a lot of firepower on one squad there, by the way. There's a lot of firepower aimed at them. That's not actually heavy cover, that's only light cover. But even with that, you can see how hard it is to hit Rangers. Still too much fire coming their way, so they have to pull back. Artillery being called here by the lieutenant.
Combat unit ready for action.
You have a half-track with some more United States Rangers on board. Those are the United States going to go for a mechanized assault. Excuse me. I've been on the northern flank holding on. We have double Sherman coming out. Because they're playing as armor, I'm pretty sure the Sherman is exceptionally cheap. Yeah, only 65 fuel. That's a really cheap Sherman. That's going to allow the American armor company to have a lot of Shermans in the field. United States Rangers moving up. Probably want to disembark now. They do know there's a Panzerjäger around. You have a 50 caliber on top here, which is very handy. Panzer Bruiser gets a shot. I think the Rangers need to disembark at this point. We have a push up here in the northern flank with the Wallonians. Pushing through the ruins on the Americans, so they might lose their fuel point. Just as the Germans, so they're going to lose their fuel point as well down here. Break of the Jeep goes down. Lieutenant is having issues down his zone. Right, Bernard nearby to support him, but it's not enough. Germans are arriving though, and rushing to the front line. They're also doing a good job here. But they're not getting any of the fuel because of this point. Well, technically, Americans are not getting any fuel down here either. They actually need to hold this point. Germans would need to hold this point to get fuel from it. The Wallonians suck at AT duty, by the way. They only have the Panzerknacker, so they need to get right up on the tank. And now they know there's the Sherman there, so they need to be cautious. Because that is double 30 calibers. One in the turret and one in the hull. Germans have pushed back. They haven't been able to take the point, but they have denied it to the Germans. Even have a Major already on the front line. What buff does the Major get? A gift for the Rangers. 80% faster capture time. No, it's actually not bad. I just need to be in an adjacent region. So it actually doesn't count down here. It only counts in the territory he's adjacent to. Adjacent. Man, I cannot speak today. We do have the Mthis veterans on the field as well. Pack 40 has arrived there. But a good shot there on the Sherman, pushing it back. Storm Grenadiers are doing their best here. But more and more Shermans are flooding in. Let's see, 3rd Infantry has been armed with a BAR and Thompsons with drum magazines. Interesting. Explosive loaded. Doesn't hit. So I think that Sherman has to back off. Yeah, especially after the pack penetrates like that. We also have a Sherman arriving here for the Rangers. Germans are still trying to get close to the point out here, but the Rangers are keeping an eye on it. We have an ALF class sneaking up to take it sneakily. Captain is calling in some artillery strikes. Gonna be 105. I'm hoping they take out the... Oh, they almost took out the machine gun! Took out a squad up there, the Storm Pioneers. That could be an opening the Rangers could utilize potentially. Veterans are pushing up against the Major, forcing him back. Sherman is arriving. They should not get too close to the veterans, so they do have Panzerfausts. Explosive missed. ALF class are securing the point in secret, although this fighting is going on. But Rangers with double BAR is definitely going to be able to lock down this area. I think the slow fire BAR would probably be a good choice, honestly, at long range, because the slow fire BAR is pretty cool. It's actually a lot better at long range because of the increased accuracy. Even if it does provide less suppression. All Rangers pushing up here. I'm sure Eugen knows what they are doing. That's an MTOA cleared. Germans are trying to get some damage done up here so they can push in.
Rear echelon troops on the front line.
Germans desperately need some repairs, that's for damn sure. But the 3rd Infantry is able to keep the area covered. But the Germans are dragging a Raketenwerfer up to the front. Sherman remains nearby. Pack is relocated to try and deal with the Sherman. We also have an Untersturmführer overseeing the battlefield here. Panzer HQ has been set up here by the propaganda tactics, allowing them to have a flak gun for some defense. And getting a Stuk G, good to see. Let's see some assault going out here from the Storm Pioneers, but the 3rd Infantry is just mowing them down. Don't underestimate the 3rd Infantry, it's a really fucking good squad. Honestly, they are just a better riflemen, I think, if you're playing as armor company. Ooh, rifle grenade right there. Remember that the American rifle grenades are the pineapples, they are very powerful. There need some repairs. Guess the Americans need to get some repair teams down here somehow. But the Stuk G has arrived. A basic Stuk available to the Germans. Sturmgeschütz. And let's see, the Germans keep moving around with some of their units. It looks like we might have the final take up here for the Sturm tactics to allow them to get heavier armor, including the Sturmtiger. Armor captain on the field without his tank. Fascinating choice. Better couple setting up here to cover. Medic team's also coming up from the United States now. Rangers trying to push up here. Sherman got lost. Central charge going out. They captured a point, but the smoke is about to clear, so that MTO-8 is going to start ripping into them. Goes in the rifleman first, evidently. High explosive, but the Stuk almost kills them. Very good shot there from the Stuk. That's a dead Ranger squad. Not the best situation for the United States at the moment. The Germans still in the northern flank getting into positions. Americans also getting into their counter positions with lots of riflemen trying to dig in. Coming up with great coats because they actually re-echelon that's been merged in. It's a cheaper way to get reinforcements to the front sometimes. Just use the echelon to merge in. But the southern flank is definitely falling into German hands at the moment. There's some Volkssturm coming up to grab some American guns. Because they're gonna use some BARs. BAR on the Volkssturm. After it's time to get out of there. Looks like it's gonna be allowed to leave. 80 guns in trouble though. It's being hit at by some combined Volkssturm Sturm Grenadier squad. Do note the Volkssturm do not get the defensive bonuses the Sturm Grenadiers get. Or their accuracy, I'm pretty sure. They get the weapons, yes, but that's about it. Ooh. They also have a mortar here now for the Waffen-SS that's helping a lot. Oh, Ballonian mechanized push. ND42 and MP34 stripping. More on that 30 caliber. But the Sherman is trying to intercept. But it's gonna open enough. No, there's no packs here. Ooh, but we have the Ballonians jumping out. They might be preparing to panzerknacker it. Ah, the Sherman just tries past. And that half-track is stuck now. He cannot drive over the stone wall. Oh, but the Sherman hits the stone wall! Poor half-track. The Americans are getting more and more Shermans, I think, soon. Actually, no more Shermans at the moment there. Guys, I think Flammhits are arriving here. That's going to be an intriguing weapon. It's very good for urban combat, but I don't think it'll do well against Shermans.
Report an infantry unit lost.
US Sherman 76 arriving here for the Ranger Company. Generally a very good tank. Domains with a Panzer strike ready here. Ooh, and they miss.
Standing by. Send orders.
That's a rifle grenade. No, that's a smoke grenade actually. But the Americans attempt at capturing the point and they succeed.
Standing by.
And we have a sneaky outfly here from the propaganda tactics doing its own thing. Rangers trying to push up here, but high explosive load on the Stuk. Doesn't hit, hits the trench instead. Or combined Volkssturm and Sturm Grenadier squads. That's a lot of Americans here in one area, all firing at this point. Ooh, that was a rifle grenade right there. That's him landing around the Americans. Doesn't do too much.
Standing by.
Flammheads are waiting on the southern flank for something. Guess the Germans are trying to coordinate for something, probably a push somewhere. Could we push for the center here because the Americans are lacking in AT equipment there. You're seeing a howitzer coming up here for the Sturm tactics, good to see. Sturm does get howitzers after all, so pretty competent.
They're ready. Send orders.
Now the Americans know there's a Flammhead, so that's a flare. German 76 has arrived, so that hits us not gonna have a good time. Yeah, already one over penetration, the flamethrower is gone. Oh, he can still fight a flamethrower? Looks like a little bit of an oversight. Who gets a good flanking shot on the 76.
Medium panzer lost.
And 76 goes down, so the Flammheads actually did a fairly decent sacrifice, I think, because it can still be recovered technically. I'm not sure the Americans are going to try and allow that. Pushing the German infantry though. Leutnant also present. High explosive misses him. Veterans also doing their best here with their scopes doing this. Good pushing up artillery has been called in, so I think the Germans can essentially save this Flammhetzer. They'll have to act quick though. Artillery called in counter barrage from the United States captain. Sugar's doing a pretty decent job. Oh, got penetrated there by the Sherman though. Germans are Kettenwerfer on the northern flank. That'll stop most Shermans easily. I don't know what's going on the southern flank yet, but Aufklar keeps an eye on things. Okay, just moving out again for the Ranger Company. Howitzers now opening fire. Sherman trying to make a push for it. The Raketenwerfer is not pointed that way. It's behind here waiting. They do a pass trick though. Hits the Sherman. With another pass trick. What's the other pass trick though? Oh! The Storm Pioneers. Okay. Storm Pioneers have the Sturm Gewehr and the Panzer Strike. Okay, that explains a lot. Germans are trying to push up though.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
EC8 also arriving here for the armor company. Probably the pinnacle of Sherman design. Fast, accurate, can fire on the move, fast reloading. Good penetration, good gun. Oh, just a very good Sherman, the pinnacle of the Shermans. Not as high armor as the Jumbo, but overall just a very good Sherman. Ah, we are seeing the second SS Panzergrenadiers on the field. Cool to see. Ooh, the Alf class actually getting a good amount of spots here for the mortar.
Standing by.
And the third SS veterans are also around still. I need to get some water. Like it's so hot and humid in Denmark these days. It's almost unbearable. Like you wouldn't believe it. Like the summers can just be so unbearable here the last few times. The Sherman trying to push up here. Passes strike misses. I'm just pouring water while this is going on. Until he's been called in by the captain. That actually hurts. 105s can be quite potent. We also have some big barrages coming in from the Germans in their return. Let's see 105s. Takes out the Kugelwagen, but not much else by the looks of it. Smoke pushed by the Americans, and the 3rd Infantry is preparing. Forward H-class was set by the United States. German leading the way. EC8 coming up behind. While this is going on, it looks like the propaganda tactics is trying to push into the southern flank. But the Americans don't have a lot to stop it. The Germans are leading the way now. Panzer strikes are hitting though. But the Germans pull back safely. The Americans just have infantry holding up the center. They do have recoilless rifles now. The Stuk could be in trouble. Ooh, doesn't hit.
Krauts are sniffing around our asses.
That sucks.
Point being captured.
Germans are pushing up down here using the Alf class to take points while the firefight goes on with the Ranger Recon. AT, we do have the Jumbo Sherman coming out, an up-armored Sherman. I think the most armored vehicle the Americans can get in the game. Even more armored than the Pershing, actually. Not as good of a gun, but still, very good armor. Although I think the EC8 is more balanced stat-wise, and isn't just as fast than the Jumbo is. Just fires faster. Like, the Jumbo fires exceptionally fast. Flamhetzer goes down, so no one's gonna get that thing recovered. And the fighting continues up here by the Mthis. Raketenwerfer arriving, that should definitely scare off any allied tank. Finding an 8.8 centimeter rocket is definitely gonna be a problem.
Officer, ready to be deployed.
Americans are trying to repair everything. And their forward HQ is keeping them present. I'm not sure where all these howitzers are aiming at. Some howitzers aimed around here, that could be a problem. Obviously aiming around here. And EC8 does fire fast, as you can see. Very high reload on that gun. Ooh, the Germans are moving up for rocket push. Oh, EC8 moves forward! Right into the range of a Raketenwerfer, but they pop smoke. Very good to see, that's definitely gonna save it. Well, that was clutch. That was clutch right there. The propaganda tactics have gotten the Tiger Ace. Unique call-in available to propaganda tactics. We have a command F1 arriving here for Sturm. Very unique prospects for the Sturm version. It does not fire AP shells. It only fires high explosives, which is actually really good at dealing with infantry and fortified positions. But it's not gonna work against tanks. That's not an EC8. The EC8 will just shoot through it. I guess driving up to try and deal with the EC8, I imagine. Jumbo's right on the southern flank. This thing has some pretty ridiculous armor stats. Same armor as the Panther frontally. That actually means there's more front armor than the Tiger does. Which means that pack is gonna have a hard time. Explosive missed. But it backs off. Doesn't look like he wants to risk a prolonged engagement there. There's not a lot of German defenses down here at the moment. And the fighting continues up here in the center and the northern flank. Tiger took a shot, killed the A2 Sherman. EC needs to be very cautious now. Especially when he realizes that there's a Tiger is here. Ooh, is the EC going for it? No penetration. No penetration by their side. The improved frontal armor of the EC really helped it there. When we have lots of German infantry descend as well against the Rangers. It's slowly being whittled down by the veterans and the Hausturmführer. And all the captured DARs they're using. Oh, good grenade. Oh my god! Good clutch rifle grenade there from the Rangers. They have to get out there now, though. Jumbo needs to decide where he wants to go. Where will it be most needed? And yeah, there you can see the power of the F1 command tank for the Sturm. They can just kill infantry squads really fast. Ooh, Tiger is on the move. F1 is leading up, but there is a 3-inch waiting. Custom fire. Jumbo in the center, looks like the Tiger has the target. They're trying to use its 88 against the Jumbo here. But they are getting a lot of shots in on the Tiger, so it has to pull back for now. Ooh, EC8 took the Stuk. A good shot and a command F1 too. EC8 is a good tank. Do not underestimate it. We also have a Pershing coming up behind us. That has a 90mm gun. Jumbo getting a high exposure shot. Hits the cover in front of the Storm Grenadiers. A little action on the southern flank at the moment. Acclimated some plans to push for the center, I think.
Taking fire from a Panzerschreck!
Panzerschreck team present. Well, American 3rd Infantry is pushing on the southern flank here. Mowed down the Storm Pioneer in seconds with the Thompsons and the BARs. Like, this squad is just so good, the 3rd Infantry. I don't get why people don't get more of them. They're just really good with the Thompsons and the BARs. No weapon upgrades on the Panzer Grenadiers yet. Robertus is lacking their munitions, evidently. Probably because they have so many howitzers working all the time. That's very expensive munitions cost-wise. And the 3rd Infantry doesn't care that they are fighting Panzer Grenadiers, they're just that good. But here comes the command F1 with high explosives. Which could be a problem. Ooh, those 5 men. Oh, yeah! Ow. That is a dead rifleman squad, I think.
Squad, get ready!
Let's get this moon to intercept. And kill them on a retreat path. One of them did get away, I think. They're already back at base. There's the Pershing. There it is. America's only heavy tank of the war. Was downgraded, I believe, or reclassified as a medium tank after the war because of its statistics and performance. Also because I think it fit more with like what a medium tank was by the end of the war sometimes. Probably regarding after encountering the Panther and such. Someone pushing up here. Firing an explosive on the veterans, only killing one guy. Lots of Panzerschreck teams nearby. The howitzers are still firing. Pershing is going to try and push up. They're taking out the forward HQ though, bit by bit. Kittenwerfer needs to get into a good position here. Recon has been spotted, probably thanks to the Aufklar hiding back here.
We lost an infantry unit.
That HQ is about to go down. That's a long Tom, isn't it? Yep, that's the United States long Tom. Only on counterbrush. Unique howitzer available to US Ranger. 155mm gun. Very good for counter artillery duty.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
This Ranger a really good weapon to utilize.
Ready. Go ahead. Tank ready.
Jumbo moving to the northern flank, but looks like the double howitzers are working out against the long Tom at the moment. The Germans having two can definitely help. Also, I think the German one is more accurate, despite being a smaller caliber. Ooh, Patrick penetrates the ECA, the Jumbo, but Tiger's not penetrated. It's so hard to recognize the tanks sometimes.
Enemies are storming one of our emplacements.
Pershing needs to get moving, I think. Panzerwerfer opening fire here. Aim around here by the looks of it. Doesn't hit a lot. Oh, got a good shot there on the EC8 though.
Squad, ready to move.
Jumbo needs repair. Second Jumbo coming out for the Rangers. And F1 is using anti-explosives here to the best of its ability. Ooh, that's a rifle grenade. Pretty good one on that. EC8 coming through up here. Not been repaired though. Because they want to take out the command F1. Yeah, and we have the Rangers pushing on the southern flank now. Germans actually don't have a lot to cover it, but they are moving a Storm Grenadier now. It's armed with a Gewehr-43 and an MG42. Pretty good weapons. We also have the Hauptsturmführer coming out here and the Untersturmführer as well. A lot of veteran officers. You're also seeing the Kampfkanzler now coming out from Captain Airstrike. They're thinking ahead for the long game. Repairs are going out on the forward HQ. Gonna take a while though. That's it. Definitely a dead rifleman squad. The Germans are still holding on here for sure. Artillery calling around the Americans' positions. That's gonna force them to move immediately. Pretty heavy artillery right there. Pershing pushing up for a shot. Not sure if he's using an AP on the Rakettenwerfer for, but fair enough.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
I believe you can actually see the shell being ejected from this thing. Yeah, you can like see the shell being popped out on the other side here of the Pershing when it fires, which is a nice little detail. Tiger is pushing up. Oh, long time hit straight at the forward HQ! Counter barrages are going out though. Panzer Jägers are nearby. They want to try and overrun that Jumbo if they can. Ooh, one shot penetrates, the other one didn't. Oh, it actually didn't hit at all. Ooh, one Panzerjäger goes down to the rear echelon. Smoke pops, grenade out. Panzerjäger's falling back. This F1 is already doing it. Did that take out the Sherman? I'm surprised. How explosive only F1 took out a Sherman. Who would have guessed? A2 Sherman also arriving here on the field for the armor company. They lost the EC8, which I think is a much bigger issue. Rakettenwerfer stacked the range though to hit the Shermans. Lots of smoke shield standing as the Rangers push up. They are trying to get close to this MG08, but MG08 can see them. Rifle grenade going out. Good rifle grenade, but not enough. Will it be? Looks like the Germans lose the will to fight there. But the caliber is really working out for them. Americans are trying to push him with Rakettenwerfer. So Rakettenwerfer gets a shot at the Sherman there. And that's one Sherman down. Ammo cooked.
A medium tank was just lost.
Ooh, yeah, the Americans are having a little bit of a hard time here. No penetration there on the Pershing's frontal armor. Lucky for it. Artillery become by the lieutenant. Third infantry pushing up.
We just lost a
Being
unit.
hit the F1, but they might have to pull back. They tried to kill the lieutenant, but the artillery manages to go off. Looks like the forward HQ is still operational. Oh, that's time on target. Oh my god, they have time on target. They delay fuse. That's cool. I like to see delay fuse. That's such a cool little ability. F1 is pulled back for repairs, so they do have repair teams thanks to the forward HQ here. Looks like the Tiger Ace is going on the southern flank.
Send your orders.
Smoke shells and artillery shells are landing everywhere. They're just recruiting all the equipment. You have a big American push on the northern flank here. Artillery strikes hit in though. But the 3rd infantry is pushing up with their Thompsons and BARs. F1 pushing up. Rifle brigades are going out though. But I think the American Pershing has to push up behind us. We do have another EC8 arriving. And that's a lot of rocket fire coming out as well. Oh boy, Pershing is getting into positions. We're pushing up here. That might be a dead F1. Oh yeah, 90mm shell straight through the hull. That's a huge ass shell right there. Now 350 coming around the corner. Doing their best to hold on. It's still the Raketten Werfers that forces the Americans to push up their tanks yet. Oh, one cleared out by the rifle grenade!
We lost a gun crew.
But if they're trying to get around the corners here to get shots in. The Americans are assaulting. Long-term shots also landing up behind. Lots of firefights going out. The tanks are pushing up though. Long-term cleared out something. Ooh, those Storm Grenadiers actually get some good shots in. But that Thompson's doing a lot of work. But he gets mowed down in the end. But the tanks could push up safely, I feel. On the southern flank, we're not seeing a lot of movement yet. Tiger tank remains on the alert. And double jumbo is keeping an eye on the area. EC8 pushing up now finally. Oh, there was a Rakettenwerfer still! He insta kills the EC8.
We just lost a medium tank.
Hands are following fire, I think. Where is it?
Anti-tank rockets.
Oh, it's down here.
Combat promotion.
Yeah, I got some decent hits, but no, there are a lot of kills.
Stand by, crew.
Ooh, the Germans lost the 48 to the northern flank though. Artillery being called here by the lieutenant. Might not work because he's under a lot of fire this time. He only has light cover from the crater. He's actually the last guy left in the unit. And no, he doesn't manage to get the strike up before he gets shot in the neck.
An infantry unit being wiped out.
Germans trying to hold down here. Jumbo's pushing up against the Tiger Ace. Vane's got cleared out by the Tiger Ace. Jumbo's leading away.
Under fire.
Willie Pete shot loaded. Tries to stun it. Pack got a good shot on the flank. That's using Willie Pete on the Tiger Ace is actually a good idea because it just keeps it out of the battle. And forces it to back off because its engine is suffering a lot of damage. A good play there from Eugen. Meanwhile here, more fighting going on here against with Robertus against the Professor. Lots of fighting, lots of artillery strikes. Another rifle squad there. Pershing is now moving up. In the reckon the ECA will be in the way though. Preventing it from moving up that way. Balloon's trying to grab the Rakettenwerfer. They're under a lot of fire here.
Rifle squad ready
They're
for
still holding the southern flank. They're preparing some infantry behind all the rubble. Artillery going in on the American Ranger positions. The Rangers in the center are getting some good long-range engagements to their advantage. Americans moving up here with the riflemen. Emergency fire riflemen, actually. They should allow us to use their BAR a lot more effectively. Rifleman off. Ooh, didn't get a lot of kills for that one, though. That's definitely that squad.
We just lost a unit.
Americans need to get repaired at Jumbo, but they are getting more and more Shermans. Second Panzerwerfer arriving here for the propaganda tactics. They are trying to get some artillery support out. That might be a dead Sherman. Oh, Recording missed. Never mind. Oh, they're Thunder Run! This thing now only fires high explosive shells. Probably needs to hit. That's just too much debris.
A gun crew has been lost.
But Thunder Run is a good call if the Germans are lacking aids in tank equipment. Because the German can just use high explosive shells only, which will definitely be a problem. Ooh! I kind of did not penetrate the Pershing. I do think another Sherman with Thunder Run would be a good choice here. Because the Germans are lacking in armor. But the Thunder Run shells are not really hitting much. Artillery hits directly in front of the Pershing. Warfare infantry trying to get around here. They don't have any weapon upgrades though. They can use that cover of the ECA to their advantage. Oh, good shot from that F1 command tank. Basically serving as the Germans' Thunder Run unit. Ooh, the Germans are prepared to make a push in this flank, I think. Or they're laying some mines first. Yes, the Americans use it. Remember, flares do not reveal ARF class anymore, so that's a big deal. Second Pershing coming out here for the United States. And so much artillery going on right now. With Blitz arriving here to reinforce the front line of the Germans.
Task complete. Ready, set.
Oh, Raketwerfers are firing. Probably aiming around here. You can hear the rockets coming.
The capture point is being overrun.
Ooh, they killed the repair teams. But didn't destroy the tanks. Going to recon moving up. They can spot the ARF class. Kill them very quickly, as you could see. American recon team trying to get some positions, but they are near German recons. Who Percy took a shot. A2 is also down.
Medium tank was just lost.
That's definitely their recon. Unless they can get away safely.
Relay orders.
But if it's moving up, but probably not a good idea with their command F1 present. But Mthis is making good use of the high explosives here. You can see already doing a pretty good job there. Makes Zoom have a very good option late game to deal with infantry blobs. Or just infantry in general. Lots of Shermans have arrived for the southern flank though, but they need repairs. Might be a good idea to set up a repair station. Probably around here. I'm pretty sure the re-echelon can set up. But the United States now have double Pershings, so that's a lot of huge tanks arriving here for the United States. Lots of heavy metal. Yet the second has Panzer Grenadiers as well, not being given any unique equipment yet. Shermans are revealing themselves on the southern flank here. No Thunder Run for the southern American flank. Command everyone taken out here by the Pershing. 90mm shell just goes straight through that little tank.
Fire.
It's a pretty big shell, so... I guess moving up here, that's a lot of Shermans in one area. If the Shermans all move together, they would definitely be able to cause some damage. Kettenwerfers are relocating, probably getting away, or Panzerwerfers are relocating probably for a better aim. Pershing on the north, flanking and shots out. Recon team has been spotted by the Aufklar. And American for the infantry pushing him as well. Pershing staying here with long range fire, with long range shots.
We lost an infantry unit.
Hack is pushing up here, but the Shermans overwhelming it. Smoke popped. The Shermans just keep pushing. Ooh, good Panzer strike shots on the flank though. A good little ambush there from the Americans. Yeah, Germans have done a good job there. That's been calling here by the Hauptsturmführer. Oh, good Sturmpistol shot there, starting the squad. But they've been suppressed here by all the Thompson fire. Blitz goes down up there by the looks of it. And the American armor company is pushing and pushing. But there's a lot of Valonians and MP-34s here. Pershing still trying to lead the way. Kettenwerfer could get a good flanking shot here. Doesn't hit though. I think the Americans could safely invest in lots of Shermans here with Thunder Run.
They got wiped out.
Just a hutch.
Sherman ready to go.
The jumbo arriving here for the United States on the southern flank.
Tank ready. That's incoming rockets.
Ooh, good Kettenwerfer right there. Tried the gun on the Pershing, forcing it back, but the second Pershing is still operating. Ooh, they hit it there. They actually got a rear armor hit somehow. I think the Americans need to establish a repair station. I think that actually helped them a lot, keeping those Pershings up and going fast. I'm pretty sure the Realism can just build repair stations rather than you having to actually repair. But infantry pushing up to the front line again. Yeah, they're good infantry, so they have been shown to be useful here. Okay, Mthis trying to pull back. And then the rifle raid's coming out as well. Good old pineapples, but the Valonians are nearby. That's an egg grenade here. Ooh, not yet. I don't think the Americans want to get around that flank, that angle. Because that's a lot of submachine gun fire. That's one I can never cleared though. Just the howitzer shells landing on the southern flank, not much else yet. But the Sherman force are building up slowly. But Mthis having a lot of losses here. Pershing pushing up with a high explosive shell. Could be a 90mm high explosive. Oh yeah, that definitely kills those Valonians. But there's another Raketenwerfer with Panzerjägers just behind it. Smoke popped. Allows it to back off safely. And we still have an Aufklar here keeping an eye on the Americans. Yes, have been pretty good in their recon game today. And German howitzers are still operating. They've actually done a lot of work. And the long tom is being completely destroyed this time. Notice German 76 going out.
combat unit ready
This
for
Pershing is almost ready for action again. Anseger's missed.
Green as green can be. Well, grab your
Pretty long match. I was informed this would be a pretty long one, so I'm strapped in, so to speak. Raketenwerfer is opening fire, or Panzerwerfers. Oh, that allowed the pack to take out that German pretty quickly. The Germans are setting up the defenses pretty well here. Well, now Americans need to find a way to push up.
HMG squad ready for action.
Pershing's not ready to move. Then another command tank. Robert Civil likes that to have explosive F1.
troops await your command.
That's a third infantry down. House is doing a good job there. Jumbo pushing up down here. Tiger is keeping an eye on it though. Ooh, that's bad for Jumbo. Yeah, turret jammed. And Panzer gets the kill. What a wasted Jumbo right there. Ooh.
Crew ready.
Painful. Painful to watch. Lots of Raketenwerfers pointed at this Pershing.
Yeah, that might fail promotion.
Oh, and that's a Pershing down.
We just lost a heavy tank.
Sometimes going for the biggest tanks I don't think is always the best idea. Like, let's see, the Pershing is 225 fuel. That's a lot more, that's like almost 4 Shermans for that same cost. I really think 4 A2s with a Thunder Run would be probably a lot better in this situation, considering. Because I feel like there would be a lot of high explosive shields that these Raketenwerfers would have to deal with. Also, I think the Pershing just has a higher upkeep on keeping on the field.
Rifle squad ready for
Generally, remember, heavy weapons have a higher upkeep than lighter weapons.
Someone get us out of here.
So they will limit the amount of units you can have on the field at a time.
crew ready.
We also have brain the demo teams now. Do we have an outcloud on there? Yeah, we do have an outcloud out here, so they will be able to spot the demo team. That was a Beano grenade, but not thrown far enough. Now the demo team's in trouble. Veterans trying to push out for the open, which is not a good idea, I think. Yeah, they are getting shot at here. Demo team getting up under. Oh, they have flamethrowers. They're gonna get mowed down out in the open. I have to pull back there. Because of a Volkssturm Panzerjäger just waiting there in the crate on the ground. Ah, we have the Sturmtiger.
Here we go. Get ready to move.
Remember, the Sturmtiger got quite a few changes, so it's not as much of an I win button now as it used to be, which I think is a good change. As well as a little bit annoying that that single unit could just change a battle so easily. It's still powerful, don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna be like the instantly I win button now that it used to be. Ooh, Philip to get around the corner here. Plans to shoot with their Thompsons, but they're getting suppressed. We do get their rifle grenade off, which does a lot of damage.
Send your orders.
Sturmtiger's moving on the south flank, Raketenwerfer aiming up. Panzerwerfers, I mean, and I always keep switching around the names of those. Let's see, the Sturmtiger is definitely moving to the southern flank to supplement. He just needs a target. And remember, that is 200 munitions per shot. Plus the upkeep of just having it on the field. Good to see what decisive shoots. We'll keep it selected so we can tell when. Yeah, it's shooting. Ah, okay, they probably have a sight here. Yep. Firing at Jumbo. Ooh, it didn't penetrate! The Jumbo's frontal armor safely paid off there. Ooh, and now the Jumbos and the Sherman 76 is going for the Tigers. Turret jammed. Ooh, and that might be that Jumbo, yeah. Tigers is still fairly healthy. The southern flank of the United States is definitely not holding up well. Now, Eugen is not looking to be in the best position right now. One can hope that his ally pushes up with that Pershing more somehow. Our Professor is still pressuring the Waffen-SS here, but all those Rakettenwerfers are really allowing the Pershing to not be as useful as it should be. The Sturmtiger is being reloaded. Nope, they don't have the munitions yet. And it is very costly. And Robertus is really low on munitions at the moment. Probably because of all these howitzers they keep firing. Like, as Sturm, you really just can't spam every artillery option because you will run out of munitions if you do. You need to be a little bit more selective in what you need at the time. Pershing pushed up a little bit far, but the Rakettenwerfer is not in position. You have a third Pershing coming out to the field here. United States getting on the flank here. But it would be in range of the flak gun here unless this wall actually covers it. Oh, they can see them. And almost takes out the squad in one shot. We have another Flammhitzer arriving as well. But we also look like the second SS Panzergrenadiers have done a pretty good job for themselves, already veterancy free. I don't see the Kampfkraft Center from Robertus. Only looks like it's Airstrike that has it. And Airstrike has been used in the Kampfkraft Center, good to see. That means all the infantry is going to be very veteran. Do note, Volkssturm do not benefit from the Kampfkraft Center. Because they are militia. They're not supposed to have any training, really. Osttruppen for the Wehrmacht do benefit from it, though. So always remember that. The Panzerwerfer is opening fire. What are they aiming at? Around here. Get some good stuns out. Ooh, Flammheads are pushing up. There's no AT weapons! Ooh, those Americans are gonna get roasted. Ooh, Pershing's trying to get a shot, didn't penetrate. The humble hour of the hits are paid off today. The Hetzer slope somehow managed to work today.
Orders complete. Standing by.
Being called in down here. It's from the United States Lieutenant. Fire for effect, evidently. And then a little bit scattered. Didn't really seem like it did too much though. Gives it mostly evacuated that part of the area. Captain calling in some heavy artillery. 105 rapid barrage. That's going to hurt if the Germans don't move. Thing is, the Americans need to move up right after it, but Rakettenwerfer is still manned. Rakettenwerfer did not penetrate, or did not hit anyway. Also missed there. The cannon reinforcement is forward HQ though. Here comes all the American infantry as well. That's another BARs. Aufklar is down. Hauptstufführer calling in artillery. Pershing moving up. Don't see where is it? Down here. It is ready to fire though. Pershing pushing up here. Is it loading high explosive? It's not. There we go. High explosive loaded. Doesn't hit. That's hit. Oh, we have the side of the Sturmtiger. Oh! That still did a lot. The Sturmtiger is still pretty good, and that is an immobilized Pershing.
Unit ready.
Not sure the Germans know that yet, though.
Send your orders.
More Rangers coming out here for the southern flank of the United States, and more Valonians called in. That Pershing needs to get repaired immediately. Oh, Valonians are being called in to grab the Rakettenwerfers. Okay. Guess it is a cheap way of getting some units on the field and recruiting 2 weapons quickly. Propaganda Tax is fighting around here, mowing down the Ranger squad. That's a pineapple though. Doesn't suppress them. I think the Rangers need to activate marching fire or fire superiority. There we go. That's going to allow them to potentially win an engagement by allowing them to suppress. Getting a lot of good shots out. Lane Corporals to cover the retreat. Jumbo's ready to the front again. Mines being laid behind the Lane Corporal. Good to see. And the Tiger Ace is still around. Hamcraft Center is also still taking up here. Getting all the veterancy that the Germans need. The Hamcraft Center is just such a big deal if you think about it, because it can really allow the Germans to scale into the late game. Because if they lose units, they can just get some veteran units already immediately. Which can really help. But Robertus is definitely having issues here. Of course, Professor's not getting enough Germans, I think, to push. Relying too much on the Pershings here. Which are pretty good, but don't get me wrong, but I think the Thunder Run Germans en masse would do the job just better. Pershing is ready again. We also have another captain arriving here, calling in more 105s. We could also use some 105 White Phosphorus. I think that would work too. People really don't use the White Phosphorus for some reason. I don't get why. Need more Panzerwerfer shots. Deal some good damage to the Ranger infantry. 105 shells landing. Panzerjäger still around as well. Not a long time being set up here by the United States. Germans still holding on. Tiger is moving on the southern flank. Got a good shot there on the Jumbo. But Jumbo was penetrated but did minimal damage. Do remember the Tiger has more health. Less armor but more health. That is a difference. Health and armor are two different stats. A good example would be like the Panther for the Germans. The Panther has more frontal armor than the Tiger does, but it has the same health as the Panzer IV. Oh, big push here from Flammetzer. Pershing starts shooting. It missed! Oh no. That's a lot of the American infantry. Wrong time is shooting in though. And Flammetzer is now starting the Pershing. But the other Pershing is going to try and take a shot. There we go. Germans have lost the most of the Rakettenwerfers though. Sturmtiger's not ready to fire yet, it's not even been reloaded, it's cost a lot. And all those howitzers I think are just bleeding Robertus' munitions dry. Let's remember now, when you are in counter barrage with like say a howitzer, every time it fires it actually takes some of your munitions. Always remember that. Pershing moving up here. Double Pershing's doing their best. Rakettenwerfers can get some shots in though. Ooh, good rifle grenade though. The good armored push here from the United States. I think the Germans are faltering. Sturmtiger's not ready to fire, is it? Nope. I think the Tiger Ace might need to relocate. Because the Pershings are overrunning the German front line. Oh boy. And high explosives just piercing through as well. Good play there from Professor, managing to finally push through Robertus' defense. Attack is rapidly being called in desperation. I think it's gonna arrive. Okay, it's arriving back here, so it's a little bit of a safe area. Got killed on the Panzer headquarters. I think one more shot, oh, it'll probably be down. Couldn't see it still be reloaded. There we go, Panzer HQ down. And Panzerwerfers are there, where's the Tiger Ace? It's up here. It's 23 now. And the Americans are gearing up for more pushes. I think the Americans are getting to the point where they might be able to push, but The Rangers just keep taking losses to all these Panzerwerfers. But the Pershings are relocating now. Tiger is here. Ooh, got penetrated quickly by Sherman 76. And smoke shells also being popped in. High explosive loaded. Pershing moving in. There's a pack nearby. It's not pointed at it. Gunner's killed. Pack did try to get a shot, didn't penetrate. Oh, lag. Well, that's not a good sign. There we go. I think it's just because so much debris is on the field at the moment. Has been a long match after all. Panzer strikes. Smoke pop to cover its retreat. Panzer's getting flying through the smoke. That's one jumbo down. Doomtiger's trying to take a shot apparently. That's going to be a wasted shot. Yeah, deafening, but still.
We lost a gun crew.
And the Pershings are still pouring up slowly. Working together as a team. Getting the benefit of the radio net. Which I think British, American, and even German tanks benefit from. So the tanks benefit from working together. Ooh, looks like Roberts lost practically everything. They're actually only down to the Sturmtiger. Oh, that sucks. That's not looking good for Roberts at all.
Stand ready.
Now, having airstrike still has a pretty big army. But if they lose this Tiger race, the Persians could just threaten them. Persians have to pull back here, there's too many AT weapons. No penetration. Now we have some more range strike on the southern flank, but the Germans are prepared for that.
Infantry group lost.
The Tiger Ace is still operating in the center here. Pershing remains on the move. Where is the Sturmtiger? Back here. Probably getting ready to reload when they get 200 munitions. I think the Pershings are hunting the Tiger Ace. They actually got a shot at it and almost killed it. The Pershing is definitely in hunting mode.
Send your orders.
They're still getting close to the German base. One pillbox has almost lost its gunner. I think they lose their gunner at 60%. See Panzerwerfers opening fire probably around here. Go up here. Do a good job stunning the American infantry. Remember, rocket artillery is mostly for stunning now, not killing. You actually want to push up with an assault right afterwards, or actually at the same time you do it. Ooh, Pershing's getting good shots in now. And a 90mm gun does have a high chance of penetrating the front there. But Panzer's on the flank. One Pershing down. And that might be the second one. Both Pershings down. I might give the Germans an opening they needed. Some briefing time. And the Ranger Company is just getting a lot of riflemen now to try and rush the battlefield. Armor Company still has a field presence though. This might give the Germans some time. Like losing 2 Pershings in rapid succession like that without any infantry support, that is gonna hurt. That's why you always want to have infantry, often if you can, specialized armored infantry to support your tanks. Like the Americans do get these 3rd infantry here, which are specialized to work alongside tanks. Ah, water. 1 of 5 shells. Which all conveniently missed the HQ apart from the last one. Good timing. Well, it looks like the Rangers not able to push up here. The MG08 is just able to stop them alongside the pack here. Just have a small artillery strike in from the lieutenant. Americans are quickly trying to recuperate the best they can. Germans are getting a lot of equipment to assault with. I think they have to try and assault now that they have the chance. But I think it's basically now or never. The Americans are stealing all the Raketenwerfers they can. Might be useful for the upcoming counterattack. The Ranger teams are not really, Ranger riflemen is not really having a good time moving up. They're still holding the southern flank pretty effectively. Using a lot of BARs actually they've stolen from the Americans. German 76 here. Tiger is pushing up to get the kill. Oh, smoke popped. Oh, flamethrower half-stack lost his gunner, but his flamethrowers are still working somehow.
Light vehicle destroyed.
Tiger is still a menace here in the center. And we have more rockets coming out here. As I said, remember, rocket artillery is mostly for stunning now. So, like, do an assault immediately after you fire it, basically. Like, the instant after you fire it. It's very much about timing rocket-based artillery now. Balloons pushing up here, which is a cheap way to get infantry. With lots of submachine guns at that. I actually don't think the Americans can beat that, simply because of all the automatic fire coming their way now. Also the pillbox firing. But these Rachel are getting close. They were trying to get up close to them and charge it, but there's too much firepower. Yeah, do have another Pershing here, so a fourth one. We also have a fifth Pershing coming up behind us. Pershing, Pershing, Pershing. How many Pershings? Like a heavy metal battle here. Well, heavy metal from the American side. The Persians are still threatening the German base. But it looks like Robertus is slowly able to rebuild in the backlines here. And hold on thanks to Captain Airstrike's presence. Tiger is still driving around. Being like a mobile threat. That's a lot of American Rangers and infantry.
Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Launch pushing up here. So many rockets being fired here. More Rangers got close, but the Germans have layered defenses. Good to see. Generally, if you can, you want to have layered defenses. It's a lot harder to push through. Especially with the smoke barrage. The more artillery just to keep the Americans at bay. Critical barraging at the front line here for the United States. And more for the infantry. They are in range of the pillbox though. With smoke, overshot one pillbox. Oh. That's a problem. Pershing is ready to move up again. Sturmtiger is reloaded. Just waiting for an opportune target. Looks like it has one. Probably gonna be around here. Yeah, Americans have realized what's gonna happen. Throwing all the cover. Meanwhile, in the center, we have another Aufklass still holding on. Spotting for the Tiger Ace. That's not gonna be that Sherman. Ow! Sherman actually penetrated. But of course, the Tiger wins. Well, Shermans surviving and dropping smoke. They're good to see people using their support abilities from the Shermans. Sherman's actually a really good support tank because of that smoke canister. More rockets coming out here from the Panzerwerfers. Probably aiming around here. Oh, yeah, that's gonna stop that Ranger assault even more. I'm still gonna rifle it off. Didn't do too much. And the Germans could easily dig a bunker down there to reinforce from, without it being much of a hassle. They do have a lot of manpower still stockpiled, despite their FAD. Also have full fuel, which honestly surprises me. They could easily get a Stuk or something, like to just help hold the line there and dig it in. Ooh, one pillbox lost its gunner. They just have to focus the other pillbox. That was a long Tom shell. Panzer's moving up. They're trying to rush for that Pershing again. The ARs are keeping them at bay for now. They don't want to get too close to that. And Long Tom is definitely trying to do its best here. It's trying to take out those Panzerwerfers, I think. Not really working out at the moment, though. I think Professor should be just investing in some shit. Oh, Storm took a shot. Didn't damage the Pershings, but took out a lot of the American infantry.
They got wiped out. Welcome to the Death Factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just make it.
Another shipment in discussion on flank. Ooh, Eugen has lost a lot of their units. But they do have 2 Long Toms shortly. Gonna be a lot of artillery for the United States. That's a Volkssturm Panzerjäger. They get pinned way too fast in front of the tank. As the lower quality the infantry is, by the way, the faster they are to get suppressed. That's a thing to note. I also think it depends on the type of infantry they are, but I'm not an expert on that. Oh, Rakettenwerfer got a piercing. Oh, well, they hit the turret traverse. But still the machine guns are pinning them, and high explosive kills them off. One pillbox entirely down. And the Americans can still threaten the German base here entirely. But the press of the propaganda commander is still holding on. Lots of artillery shells landing. And we have more Kampfkraft Center usage being done here. Going to be full veterancy for the tanks. So that Tiger is might actually become a veterancy 5 soon. Ooh, and that's HQ's about to go down. And the HQ's down. So the Mthis is definitely suffering here, and the Pershings are still getting kills. Tigers is trying to move up to try and intercept, I think. But the Pershings are still nearby. Ooh, that Pershing took a big shot there from the Rakettenwerfer. Oh, shot down the flank of the Tigers. Lots of rockets in the center. No penetration. Tiger's gonna take a shot. Doesn't hit. Smoke popped. Give an American Rakettenwerfer nearby. Goes out of range. Person get a flanking shot that doesn't penetrate. Tiger is blitzkrieging to get out of there. And back to friendly lines. Hope to get range to the repair stations. Oh boy, the Germans still holding on despite this is what surprises me. But they do still hold the southern flank, if tentatively, just because of all the artillery coming in. And because the American Rangers are lacking in units to be present at the moment. But the Americans are trying to get into the base now. Their command F1 is definitely going to be able to hold infantry at bay.
They got wiped out.
Then I've gone on the other pillbox. And the Americans are right outside the other part of the flank. They're actually about to cut them off. If they take this point, the Germans are now getting no resources. They're completely stuck in their base now. There's only going to be minimal munitions and minimal fuel. So the Germans need to make a breakout. They need to get that point. This is technically what I would consider a base lock. Even though they still hold these points, they're not getting anything from them. Ooh, 76 doesn't penetrate. That might be that 76. No, doesn't penetrate. Boomseeker lands just behind. Tiger takes out the tank though. Germans need to catch that point. But the longer they wait, the more the Americans are just gonna get more and more resources here.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
I can see if I even have a cheeky recon squad now, keep an eye on the German base. Like, look how far they can look into the German base now.
Standing by. Send order.
But Germans are securing their cutoff point again. Long time shot. Ooh!
Infantry group are lost.
I am not sure what that was, but it looked painful.
Prepare for action.
Ooh, and this Tiger needs to keep moving. I think the Long Tom is trying to aim for the Tiger Ace.
An infantry unit lost.
You have double stormtroopers coming out now. Like, the Long Tom is doing a lot of work now.
Ready. Go ahead.
But the Americans still cannot push up on the southern flank here. This MG08 is actually veteran C5 and holding the area pretty well.
Unit ready.
Taking fire.
Pershing is moving up again against the German infantry.
Veteran C promotion.
Tiger is moving up as well with some pass strike support. Ooh. Got a good shot down to Pershing. Turret jammed. And Pershing has to back off immediately. The Germans are trying to make a counter-attack out of this. The Allies are lacking in stuff at the moment to secure these points.
Combat unit ready.
The Volkssturm also pushing up. Those are the double stormtroopers now in the field here. Watch more elite infantry. They arrive at veteran C3 thanks to the Kampfkraft Center. Pershing's going against the Tiger Ace. Sherman on the flank. Oh, no penetration. Tiger Ace is trying to back off. Looks like it will succeed. This has been a pretty brutal fight so far. This Tiger Ace has been alive for so much of it. Really earning their title, I suppose. Or their ace designation. Oh, that's another dead command tank. Person's gonna use either their 90mm gun. And the Long Tom's still landing around the Tiger Ace. They really want to kill it. Or at least immobilize it, because if they can immobilize the Tiger Ace, it's gonna be a big issue. Long range shot there, trying to shoot for the debris, doesn't work. Oh, mobility lost. Jump on the flank. It's about to be immobilized. Oh no. Will the Tiger Ace survive? Nope. Tiger Ace goes down.
Heavy armor has been lost.
Oh, this might be the beginning of the end for the Germans. Oh, but they can get a second Tiger Ace because the match has lasted that long. Oh. And it arrives at veteran C4 thanks to the Kampfkraft Center. Also another Stormseeker shot. Look, it doesn't look like it hit anything. But I think the Germans are on their final knees now. Unless that Tiger Ace can somehow turn it around. A surprise, second Tiger Ace. I really personally think, I'm not sure if it's possible, that the cooldown for the next one should only happen once the one you have in the field dies. I'm not sure how doable that is in the code, but that's just my opinion. But it really should be like a risk-reward thing, because you don't want to rush these things out. Ooh, and it's not looking good for that Tiger Ace. I'm saying that mostly because Tiger Aces don't come that easy. They're supposed to be like very rare. Well, not that rare, because the Tiger was like an ace maker, but you get my point. An ace crew should not be something you can just pull out your ass constantly. Another rocket shot's going out. Looks like the Americans mostly... Oh no, the infantry got hit there. They're prone and probably make them fall back. The Germans have fought bravely here, but I don't think they can make a comeback from this. And the third infantry are doing a good job here in the front. Pershing is almost ready. Rockets trying to get in on that Pershing, but it's lasting still. You also have the lieutenant trying to push up down here. They took out the MG08. That could be an opening the American see on this flank. The Eugen is losing a lot of units, but they have done a lot of damage. And those long toms have done a lot of work at this point. And now Professor's just starting to get Shermans. Sherman upon Sherman. Which is something I think they should have done earlier, because Sherman's just that cheap to get if you're playing as armor. And sometimes quantity is better than quality. Especially in World War II if you're using tanks. I can't say that tank at the Kampfkraft Center? Oh, they are! Huh, might get attacks to the Kampfkraft Center explosion. Because the building actually explodes now. Didn't used to have like an explosion mechanic or anything. Or animation. It does like a frag explosion. That's cool. You appreciate some stuff like that. That's a Panzer waiting in ambush. Good to see. They've been spotted though, I think. Good, that's a good Panzer shot. But they only focused them. And now the Tiger Ace has to go into action again. Or the second Tiger Ace. The southern flank is falling to the United States now. Taking push up against the Shermans. EC8's also arriving. Lots of machine guns at the front here. One person does go down there. Sturmtiger also firing. Not doing much, but just clearing the ground and preparing for the next engagement. But at this point, the Germans surrender. Pretty good and hard-fought match. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this brutal one. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.